Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Karen, and in this video I'm going to show you how I painted a gingerbread house with acrylic paint. I started with a sketch, which I probably should have simplified a little bit because later I found a bit complicated to do with the acrylics. Here I'm just painting the background, which is the sky. And I just mixed white and blue, not mix, but I just used both colors. Like I didn't blend them completely, just to give that effect with the white and the blue. This is my cat. Her name is Cinnamon. You might have seen her in last video, and of course she was walking all over my desk, just waiting for the pet, just so I can carry on. She's the cutest. So for the house I used lighter brown, not as light as I wanted, but I just decided to carry on. And for the shade and details, I decided to use even darker brown. The brand I'm using is Crowdfund Black. I bought at the Works here in the UK. And it's not a very opaque acrylics. I don't know, I haven't tried all the ones except for a white one, which is really good, and I believe that made it a little bit difficult to paint because they're very transparent, and I had to use a couple of layers to get the color I wanted. And for the Christmas tree here, I just used a flat brush, and I got the green and I started dabbing all the way up. I don't know if there's such a technique. Well, I just did what I thought it would work. As I was painting, I realized I didn't have to do many layers of the paint. I could just mix them with white, with my Winsor Newton white, and it would be opaque, like I did with pink and the purple. I should have done that with all of them. It wouldn't be as bright as I wanted, but at least I wouldn't have to do 2 or 3 coats of the colors. Here in the tree, I went back with a lighter shade of green to do some highlights, and then I went back again with the darker green. And that's where I struggled, and I realized about the transparency of this paint. The yellow just wouldn't cover the brown, so I decided to let it dry, and then I covered with white, as you're gonna see soon. In this part I am adding some white just to give some snowy effect somehow, and some highlights because it was too dark. For the roof, I kind of outlined with white just to give the idea of accumulated snow. So I went all over all the scallops all the way down. I also used the same technique I used in the tree. But I wasn't very happy with the results. Maybe I was using the wrong brush, I'm not sure. So I just tried my best, but I found it a little bit difficult to give that effect of snow. I've watched some videos of amazing artists painting with acrylics, and they make it look so easy. And I went in thinking it's just gonna be easier. I'm kind of used to watercolors, but I was really surprised of how difficult it was to control acrylics. And maybe I was trying to do a lot of details. Maybe we're not supposed to use acrylics for such details. I'm not sure. I definitely want to learn more about how to paint with acrylics. If you have any tips to give me, just leave it in the comments below. I'd be happy to give it a try, another try. I have also used my tree technique to do the snow on the Christmas tree, and I'm doing it now for the tinsel around the tinsel candy cane. I'm not sure what I was thinking, but around the door. So I just dabbed the flat paintbrush with white just to give that fluffy effect. I remember at this point I was a bit frustrated with the difficulty of using acrylics for the details, so I just decided to take my Posca and do the details for the gingerbread man. I painted also a little garland in front of the door. And here I'm just going over the white blobs with the colors I wanted, which obviously now I see that I should have just mixed the color with white and it would save me time. Here I'm just adding some shade to the candies and to the stones on the ground, just to give a little bit more of depth. I also added a lighter green to the garland because the dark green turned black. I don't know, it's probably the brand. Here I'm outlining the windows, and I wanted to give that look as if you look from outside and there's lights on. So I went with a little bit of wash brown on top of the white yellow to give that effect. And for the grass, I started using the same thing, the same technique I used for the trees, just dabbing the flat paintbrush in many directions, and later I realized I could simply just dry brush up to give that grass effect. Now I'm gonna start painting the candies, the candy canes, yeah. And oh my god, it was so hard to make them. I don't know, it's like my brain just forgot how to paint them. And I tried to fix it, I redid it, I painted over, and it was just getting worse and worse. And at some point I just gave up, and I tried my best, but it was harder than I expected. Then I started doing all the icing details for the house, and I wanted to use the paintbrush with acrylics, but I just decided to use Posca because it would be easier, and I had spent way too much time in this painting, more than I wanted, but it's just because I didn't want to give up. And that was something that I was proud of myself, because many times I am doing a sketch and I think, oh, that's not good, and then I just leave it. But I've been trying to work on that and carry on until the end, even if it's not gonna be good, but I kind of like the results. And I also learned a few things, like what to do and what not to do. For example, using white to make the color more opaque, and maybe I should try to use an easel. Also, I should probably learn more about which brushes I should use, and definitely I believe the brand makes a difference, but it's just for practice. So I really enjoyed the experience and the learning, because we always learn something, and in the end it's just a sketchbook. And here I was trying to do that technique of splatters. I've done that with watercolor before and it worked great, but with acrylics, I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe I needed more water, so it didn't work very well, and I decided to use the sponge and the back of the paintbrush to give a better snow effect. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope maybe you learned with my mistakes. And let me know in the comments what you think and if you have any tips for me. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to see what I'm gonna share with you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.